Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Hot Takes podcast. My name is Nick, and joining me today is Christian, and we're here to talk about the Game Awards. These occurred just a few days ago from when we were recording, and we've been watching these together for a few years now, joined by other friends, and just kind of reacting to them, watching Jeff do his thing, hating
Oh,
on
Jeff.
Jeff, hating on the hating on the awards, looking at what's coming out that might be interesting. So yeah, we figured we'd get together and talk about it. Unfortunately, Michael is not here, even though he was watching with us. Um, Although he was basically asleep for the whole thing anyway, so you know.
The only time he showed up was to hate on the French people.
Yeah. So yeah, but yeah, I guess what are your kind of just like initial thoughts here on the Game Awards?
So, so I've never thought the Game Awards were like good, right?
Yeah.
It's always just like basically just Jeff jacking himself off in front of everyone else, and uh, and trying to find a reason for him to exist. But this year was like particularly bad. The whole like presentation of everything felt bad and rushed and just shitty. And then like there was nothing hype announced, or was I don't think there was anything hype
Yeah.
announced.
No, I think I would largely agree with that. I mean, I think when we go back to like 2023, Jeff got a lot of criticism because he didn't really talk about what's going on in the industry, which is when all of the layoffs started happening, studios being shuttered, all of that. That's something that has kind of continued to now, but 2023 was really the start of that. So then
Yeah.
2024 was like the 10th anniversary show, and then I think he did a decent job last year of kind of addressing some of the criticism. Um, and then this year feels like we're right back there in like a different way where it's bad. And yeah, like you said, it's really like rushed. Like so few categories were actually announced where people got to go on stage. Like they've always done a few where it's just like, okay, they name two or three and kind of just get them quickly over with. But this year, it really felt like a majority of the categories were just like, here's three or four of them at once, and now here's a bunch of trailers. Like, I think we didn't even really see Jeff this year. Like, he was
Yeah.
absent. It truly felt like we were going trailer to trailer more
It,
so than
it barely
ever.
felt like like an award show.
Yeah, yeah. It really did just feel like we were here to watch um, trailers
Just
being shown, and just, that's it.
uninteresting trailer after
Yeah.
uninteresting trailer.
And we talked about during the show, like these trailers,
Oh, the trailers are so bad.
usually they are shown like two or three at a time. That's not unusual. But in this case, they fail to like establish what they are or like where one ends and where one starts. Like it was
Oh
so
yeah.
confusing. Like half the
No, dude, it
time.
was so weird. It would be like you literally couldn't tell when it switched to a different game sometimes. They just like didn't have anything in separating. I mean, they would just seamlessly merge between trailers. And then to top it off, some trailers were like just really weird and confusing and just switched tones inside within the trailer, so it was impossible to tell what was going on.
Yeah, I mean, I think the quality of the trailers was just lower. I think
Mm.
production quality, actually telling me like what I'm looking at, um, and usually I come out of this having like six games or so that I'm going to keep an eye on. Um, this year, I think I put down maybe like one.
It's just one for me.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, and I'm
It was
just
the
like,
what was the co-op space game on the Switch?
yeah, Orbitals. Yeah,
Orbitals.
that's
That
what
game looks
I.
so fun. I'm
Yeah,
really
that
looking
looks
forward to
fun.
that. I think it was
Uh,
also like the only Nintendo game announced or like Switch game announced.
yeah, that I think there may have been one other one, but I think that might have just been like a port of an existing game and being
Mm.
like, hey, it's coming to Switch too. Um,
Yeah. But
so
the other thing about the trailers was like we somehow like snuck back into having zero gameplay in the trailers. There's like I don't know. It felt like it was hard to find a trailer that showed even any gameplay at all.
Yeah, no,
Really,
usually I would say it's always leaned towards being a lot of CG and having that imbalance. But this year, I struggle to think of actually seeing like any sort of gameplay. Um,
that's one of the
and
things about the Orbitals trailers. They showed the gameplay, and I'm like, oh
yeah,
yeah, that looks fun. I can totally see myself playing
yeah,
that.
no, this was truly like yeah, it really just bad trailers for various reasons. Like no idea what was going on, no gameplay, and
I'd be like, shit, man. People used to get booed off the stage for showing trailers like that.
yeah.
What happened? The gamers need to rise back up.
Yeah, you know the gamers they're being oppressed,
Hell yeah.
and they need to rise up. You know, in these times, it is a dark time. Yeah. Um, in terms of actual categories, I mean, should we just talk about like the big one game of the
Oh
year,
yeah.
or
Mm-hmm.
yeah? So let me read
Whatever you
out
think
the
of.
yeah let me read out the nominees here. So I need to actually go find them all again.
Of course, it's only really worth to talk about that one category because half the other ones didn't matter.
Yeah. Well, so in the category we had Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Hollow Knight Silk Song, Hades 2, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Death Stranding 2 On the Beach, and Clair Obscur Expedition 33. And the winner was Expedition 33. Um, in terms of this category, I have only played Donkey Kong Bonanza, which I think it being in this category is really just like it's a Nintendo game. It's gonna go in
Yeah.
here. There's their big title for the year, um,
I can't
and
pass judgment on it because I haven't played it yet. It's sitting wrapped in plastic on my counter or something.
yeah,
Actually, I think I opened it up. I was intending to play it at some point, but then I forgot.
okay, it's at least made out of the plastic, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It made
yeah,
some progress.
yeah. Um, yeah, I mean, I think for you, you've only played Silk Song from
Yep.
this
I
category.
similar to Donkey Kong. Expedition 33 is sitting in my Steam library, just waiting to be played someday.
Yeah, no, I have you know, given all of the kind of excitement hearing about the game, even though I'm typically not an RPG fan, it was something that did actually make it into my backlog. You know, something that I was strongly considering playing, still am planning to play.
Hmm.
And of course, that did win Game of the Year.
Along with
Um,
every other award.
yeah, it is. It got. I don't know if it had the most nominations of every game ever, but it did get the most awards ever, winning
Hmm.
9 out of 13 categories that it was nominated in. And at least looking at Game of the Year, I can kind of understand it.
Yeah.
You know, Donkey Kong Bonanza
Musically,
is yeah
Game of the Year is the thing I'm like most willing to like let it have or whatever.
yeah.
I just think it's ridiculous that it wins all these awards and then like other games up for Game of the Year, multiple categories, just going with nothing. That's so strange.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I
I could
mean,
tell me this game was like better in every single way than any other game that came out this year. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know about that. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe I'll be
yeah.
singing a different tune once I play it in like a few months.
Yeah, I mean that's really what makes this tough because I can look at other games and I can some of them I really have no idea about. You know, I can't really tell you anything of Ghost of Yote, which makes several appearances as well. I don't know anything really about that game. I know it's the sequel to Ghost of Tsushima, but I don't know anything about that game. So,
Oh, I didn't know that.
um, yeah. I don't know how much of a sequel it is. I don't know if that is a series that really like ties together or if it is more separate. Um, but yeah, I mean, looking through how often it appears, part of it, what it has going for it, is that it is an indie game. So it gets to appear in both best independent game and best debut indie game.
Shout out to Best Indie being shown in the pre-show and like just passed by quickly.
Yeah,
That's
I
insane.
mean, it's always been the case. I feel like Best Family Game often makes an appearance in the pre-show. I think many of the like content creator and esports things are usually there. Um,
The content creator and esports stuff is fine. That stuff
yeah,
belongs in the pre-show. But like if,
yeah,
if your title is best something game. That's the whole point of the fucking show. Like,
Yeah.
why
See,
are we not
I
looking
can
at that?
excuse
We're
it
close.
for best family game, simply because,
So just a Nintendo, or just a
it,
category created to give Nintendo an award.
well, not quite that, but I think it is the sort of thing. If you were to like watch this with like children, you could be like, "Hey,
Yeah.
the game you like won, and now it's
No, that's true.
bedtime."
Hmm.
So that's
Okay, okay,
why
that's fair.
that's kind of my argument
That
for
makes
that
sense.
one being fine in the
That
pre-show.
I just thought about it actually. I don't think it's like just a category for Nintendo. I think no one else is making family games.
Yeah, let me actually. I'm trying to
At
find
least
it
not
right
like
now.
higher budget and like higher production family
Mm.
games.
Yeah, so
Like think
what
about
we
all the
have.
trailers we see.
Yeah,
No, they're all like
no,
dark and
the
edgy as fuck.
yeah, that's my problem with like the trend. At least the games being shown here have taken is they all seem to be going for this gritty, dark,
Mhm.
edgy world, and I'm just like, I'm not about it.
Yeah,
Um,
let's have like some fun and some colors
yeah,
or something. We don't have to do that all the time, but like, what if every once in a while we had a game like that?
yeah. No, if we look at best family game, so the winner was Donkey Kong Bonanza. Nintendo gets their award. We have Lego Party making an appearance here. Also, Lego Voyagers, Mario Kart World, Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, and Split
Mm.
Fiction. Of these, I mean, I don't know if I would Split Fiction. I feel like there's some things that are a little too serious about that game to make
Yeah,
it
I
a
wouldn't say
family
Split
game.
Fiction is a is like a family game, really.
Yeah, no,
That's
it's
the one that's like basically along the lines of It Takes Two or whatever, right?
yeah,
Same people
yeah,
made it.
yeah.
Yeah. So spoilers for later in the podcast. I did play It Takes Two this year. It was very
Oh,
fun, but in no way would I ever call that a family game.
yeah, yeah,
Maybe like a family therapy game, but like
yeah.
not a family game for like kids.
I feel like it's partially here because they were like, it's a couch co-op game.
Yeah, bright,
You
colorful
know,
couch co-op. That looks like a family game to me. What are they
yeah,
doing? Oh,
yeah.
mm.
No one looked at the actual like content. Mario Kart World and
No
Sonic
one
Racing
plays these
Cross
games.
Worlds. Those
No
both
one in
make
these
sense
categories play the
here.
game.
uh, Lego Party. It's a party game that
Lego
makes
games make
sense here.
sense. Legos,
Yeah,
Lego,
yeah,
Lego. Okay, Lego's out there competing against Nintendo for a family game.
yeah. Um, yeah. I mean, I don't. When I look through these categories, it truly does remind me that I haven't been playing. I mean, I do actually now realize I've played more than I thought I did this year. But when
Oh,
I think
okay.
about stuff that I've played that came out this year, and
Oh yeah.
that's really what most of this list
That
is.
definitely trims down
Yeah, that. I-
my list quite a bit
yeah, I think we
to
got like
three.
we got Donkey Kong Bonanza, Mario Kart World, and Peak
Oh,
are
four.
the only things on here.
And did Peak
I
come
think
out this year?
Peak did come out this year. It was
Damn,
early this year.
I feel like it's been around for a while. Like I don't know. Does
I mean, I
I
think
feel
part
like
of
we've been
it,
playing it for years by now.
I think part of it is that they kept doing updates. It's been kind of consistently around,
Mm.
and that makes it seem like it's been much longer. Um, but I mean, that's something where I like Peak. I really like the time I've had with it, but it's also not something that I'm looking to pick up again anytime soon, I would say.
Yeah.
Part of that is just I definitely have been playing less this year, and part of that is an annoyance with games constantly receiving updates still, where it's just like,
Oh,
hey, this game came out 5 years ago, and our last update was like 2 years ago. But guess what? Here's some new content. That happened to a game I finished last year. It was like a puzzle game, and they were like, oh, by the way, we're gonna
bro.
add like 10 more puzzles to your
You're
game, and I'm just
you're
like,
not gonna get any sympathy for me on this. One of my favorite games is Terraria, which is just constantly randomly getting another update after they say they're done with the game.
yeah. Well, I very much enjoy having like a story or a campaign, and
Mhm.
you finish it and you're like done. I can kind of like be done
Yeah,
with the game, and that's
I don't think you
something.
like the same games as me.
No, probably not. um, so when
But back we were getting a little ahead of ourselves. But back, do we have anything else to say about the Game Awards stuff?
I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of looking through here. I think um I think the big games where the competition kind of was were Hades 2, following up on, huge game. Hollow Knight Silksong, also following up on a big game and has had years of hype building up behind it. And then Expedition 33 being this like newcomer to the space, making a big
Yeah.
splash. I think those were the games that things were between. And so seeing them appear so often isn't surprising. And again, I haven't played the game. You haven't played the game. We can't really say did it actually deserve to win all of these categories that it did.
Yeah.
Where
Well,
it
I can
was
say
against these other
I
two
played
titles.
Silksong, and I think Silksong deserved to be there for whatever it's worth. That game's
Yeah.
awesome. It's the problem with Silksong, and someone pointed this out. I forget who, but the problem with Silksong is that it's not for everyone. It's a very hard game, and it doesn't care to cater to the people who haven't played the first game or like are trying to get into it or want an easier game. There's no difficulty settings. It's just the game is hard, and that's what you get.
Yeah.
Whereas
Yeah.
I think Expedition 33 had a bit more of a broad appeal, so it does make sense that it won.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, if we look at Silksong did win in Best Action Adventure Game.
Oh, shout out to that moment as well.
Yeah.
Fucking
No,
Jeff.
Jeff Bish being like, there they have their award or whatever. And then like moving right along. This was when they are announcing like 4 categories at once. And
He was like, there you go, you got one.
that was basically, I forget the exact wording, but that was the kind of tone that he presented
Like,
it with.
What the fuck, Jeff? What do you have against Silksong?
Yeah, he was so excited to be able to like announce the game at Gamescom, where he's like, "Hey, it's coming in 2 weeks," like.
Maybe he tried to play it.
Oh yeah, he tried to
I'm telling
play
you.
it and just
I don't
couldn't
think
play.
Jeff made it past Moss Mother. The
Yeah.
first boss in the game.
Hades 2 did also win in its like specific game category of best action game. So they both got those at least going for them.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm glad they both got a win somewhere.
yeah. I'm actually trying to see, did they win other things? Or is
No, I
it
think
just
it was one
those?
each.
It might be actually. I'm scrolling through here.
Fairly sure it was just one each.
Yeah. Well, at least they got something. I do want to mention last thing, actually, Player's Voice, where the people get to vote.
Oh my god,
It-
wait, was that the one where fucking wuthering ass waiting?
Yeah, exactly. Up against Expedition 33, Dispatch, Genshin Impact, and Silksong, Wuthering Waves is
I
somehow
bet
the
that game
winner
was
here.
That had to have been botted.
Yeah.
There's no way that wasn't botted.
No, I have a hard time because my experience of it was that anyone who tried the game was just like, I'm going back to Genshin Impact, and your experience seems to have been no one was playing this
fuck is
game.
Wuthering? Yeah, no
yeah,
one's playing it.
yeah. So I don't know if I believe that this was a like legitimate fair win, but who knows? Maybe it's really popular in like China, and that's where all the votes came from.
Oh yeah, look, I got my smallest pinky toe in the gacha game circle, at least a little bit, and I literally have never heard anything about this game since it like came out. Everyone was making fun of the title.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right. Well,
that has to be botted.
well, we can move on more into like our
The more
gaming
fun
for
things
the
to talk
year.
about than Jeff's stupid show.
Um,
What did I cut you off on earlier?
Let's see. I was talking. What was I actually talking about? Was I talking about Peak, or had I moved on to something else?
I think you were talking about Peak at some point. Whatever. Let's just what do you want to talk about now?
Yeah, I mean, really, I'm looking through here, and the games I played this year, that came out this year is Mario Kart World, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Pokemon Legends ZA, Peak. Those are the things I think that's everything I played that was actually like a this year release.
Yeah, I played.
Or no, Split Fiction.
Oh,
Right. I did play that.
okay, I played Elden Ring Night Rain, Silk Song, and then Monster Hunter Wilds. Those are the only 3 games that came out this year that I played. Oh wait, and Mario Kart World. Mario Kart World.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
everything else
Yeah,
was old.
yeah. I mean that to me that represents my habits in general, just because I have like a large backlog of games
Mm.
that theoretically I will get to at some point. So when we look at other things, at the beginning of the year, I played Cat Quest 1 and 2. I think the third one came out this year. Those are just fun little short games. Patrick's Parabox has been out for a few years. We finished Pico Park 2. That's a 2024 game. We did start in 2024, and
Okay. Oh, we finished it in 2025.
we finished in 2025. It took
Okay,
us
well,
like
let me
4
add that to my
months. Yeah.
list. I forgot that it took us that long to finish it.
Yeah, no, it took us because we started it was late in 2024, so then of course we have like holidays and stuff, and also we're just bad at the game. And by we, I mean me. Uh,
We.
what else we got in here? I think I started this one earlier, but finally finished it this year. Was Ori and the Blind Forest. Um, I played some of Later Alligator. I don't know how much I actually like finished of that. BioShock Infinite. That game is like 12 years old. I finally
Oh yeah.
played it.
Good game.
Pac-Man World Repack. I played that. I enjoyed it. But yeah, not much from this year when we look at it, and certainly less than I've played in previous years. I think if we look at 2023, I think it was like 40 games that I at least started.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
I guess you play shorter games than I
Yeah,
do.
no, if we look at the play times, like on how long to beat and my own play time, which is usually in line, usually the games I play are like 30 hours max. And most
Yeah.
of them are probably
That's
in the like 10 to 20 hour range. So I can,
that's the lower end of games for me.
yeah. Um, so yeah, but when we look at, I mean, 2024, I think was less. I don't have an exact number. I would say it's probably like 25 to 30, still plenty of games. But when I look at the games I at least have on Steam, many of those games that I was playing were also puzzle games, and games tend to be even shorter, where they're like
Yeah.
6 hours, you know?
Yeah.
So for me to finish a bunch of those, yeah, easy. Just crank that out.
You
So
could get like 10 games done at the time it would take me to beat one of my
yeah, yeah. one of
one of my
your
long JRPGs.
yeah. Um, but yeah, I think this year at least I've had less interest in gaming. Part of it might have been that in 2023 and 2024 I made maybe too much of an effort to play games
Mm.
and
Oh, you
feeling a
burnt
little
yourself
bit of
out a little bit.
little bit of burnout. And I think part of what's helped me get back into it is I moved my computer to my living room, so now it's really just like I'm on my couch, I'm relaxing, playing more games
Yeah,
with a controller. I do enjoy
a bit
mouse
more
and
chill.
keyboard, no, but yeah, it's a little more chill to just be like on my couch and playing on my big TV rather than I'm sitting at my desk. And I do, also use this desk for like when I work from home, so it offers that bit of separation. So I think that's helped me here. Like later in the year, I also switched over to using Bazite, which is a Linux distro that's a lot like what you get on Steam Deck. So it's a very like console-like experience for me now. Of I get a nice menu, I quickly hop into a game. I think that's helped like rejuvenate my interest in getting through
That
my
does
games.
sound nice. That sounds like now I might have to like do more of like some TV gaming or get a better TV setup than just like plugging my Steam Deck in because like for the for a lot of games I need my computer, I need my mouse and keyboard, the computer setup going, but
Yeah, yeah.
for like the RPGs like the Trails games, like I play those on controllers just fine, and it's nice to sit on the couch and play them. So
Yeah, I mean
maybe I'll do some more of that.
Yeah, I mean, part of the reason I actually moved my computer is I know plenty of people who have no issues streaming from their PC to like their Steam Deck or something and playing on their TV that way. And for me, I've just always had issues
Hmm.
where either it's the latency or it's even just like the frame rate is way off. I've just always had issues trying to do that. And so that I was just like, I'm just going to move my whole computer downstairs because there are games that I think would be much more fun to play because I'm already playing them with a controller. Uh,
Yeah,
and I would much rather just play them on my TV than at my desk if I'm doing that. So that
that
was
makes
kind
sense.
of
That
the
makes sense.
inspiration there. So, but yeah,
Right.
what have you been playing this year? I've been rambling for a
So
bit.
so this year has been an anomaly for me in a little bit of a different way. Uh, I guess 2024 I was going really hard on my JRPGs. I beat 4 games from the Trails series,
Nice,
which were
nice.
all very lengthy,
Yeah.
and like even more than that. But yeah, this year was weird because I played like way more RuneScape than I've previously played. I was really into the game. A lot of good updates came out, and I was in on a lot of grinds. But then I also one of my friends uh finally beat Elden Ring themselves for the first time, but then just kept wanting to play. So we sent like 5 or 6 like back to back playthroughs, and that was like the first half of the year for me. It was just Elden Ring. It was all Elden
All
Ring.
Elden Ring all the time. Yeah.
We did like playthrough, then we did the DLC, then we did like a randomizer, then we did another randomizer with the DLC or something. It was insane. We played so much. And then then Night Rain came out and we played that instead. So it was very Elden
Still
Ring centric
Elden
year.
Ring, but
Yeah, a
different flavor.
very Elden Ring centric year, despite me beating the game last year. So those two took up a lot of my gaming times, and between that and like work being really busy this year, I it was definitely a much smaller year. I only beat one Trails game, which is crazy to go for 4-1. My pace.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna finish the series. It's gonna be over for me.
How many games do you have left in the series?
Let me do a quick count. So there's Cold Steel 3 and 4. Uh, two of those games. Daybreak 1 and 2. Blah, blah. I think there's 7 games that exist that I have not played,
Wow.
and I've played 7.
Are you including because they just released the remake of
I'm
Sky?
including. Oh no, I'm not including the remake. I do have to
Okay,
play that
okay.
as well. So 8 games. I'm
Yeah,
like I'm early on in that game. I
yeah.
started it and then I was like I kind of like I don't know. I want to play this with people who hang out and can watch, but I
Mm,
never got around to like setting that up.
yeah, yeah.
But
Uh,
yeah. So in total of games that I like, full games that I beat this year, we've got Night Rain, which I'm counting because I beat all the bosses and then all of the special bosses. Yay. Silk Song, which I'm not done yet, but I will finish by the end of the year for sure. Trails to Azure, which I polished off while I was away last month. Monster Hunter Wilds, and yeah, then we have those. Those are the big games. Then there's Pico Park 2, which you just reminded me of.
yeah.
It Takes Two, and then I'm kind of counting this because I beat all of like the post game levels in Celeste.
Oh, okay, yeah. I think that's
So
fair.
all of the B sides, C sides, and Farewell, I beat this year. So I'm counting that again because that was a lot as well.
Yeah, I mean that's. I mean you're basically, to the best of my knowledge, having never touched Celeste, you're basically playing the same length of what you would do for the main game in terms of levels count, kind
It's
of, or
so the there's a B side for every A side pretty much and a C side for that after that. So
mm,
it's like twice as much levels as the first as like just playing through the base game or
yeah,
the A sides. But then they're also like the B sides are way longer and then the B and C sides are way harder. So you end up just pouring like so much more time into it.
yeah, yeah. One thing I'm remembering that we played together was Monaco 2.
Oh my god, I forgot about Monaco too.
I tried to forget about
the
it, but
great
it just
the
it
great Monaco 2 disaster.
so I was really in high school. I played the first Monaco with a bunch of friends. I really had a good time. Monaco 2 got announced. I was like, I'm playing this like day one. I will buy people
Came out to
copies.
awful Steam reviews.
Just awful reviews. I was still like, okay, we'll form our own
To,
opinion.
to be fair, it was fun for the first few levels. Then we got to some levels that were just so fucking bullshit that you couldn't beat them, and there was nothing you could do, and it just sucked so much.
Yeah, no, it was really, I think one level in particular, you're in like a prison, and there were quite a few issues. My main issue was that for whatever reason, all of the prisoners also just immediately start beating you up. And I'm just like, we're also prisoners. Why are you just like on site? Like, I'm gonna kill that guy. Like, there's no, in my mind, logical reason for them to also like aggro you immediately.
I think we
And
got all the way to the escape sequence in that, but the escape sequence was unbelievably bullshit with like some turrets, and you just get trapped and
yeah,
stuck. And then we were just like, we weren't gonna play the whole level. No,
yeah,
it
no,
was
no.
done after that.
We really gave it our best effort, and then yeah, we refunded. I got all my money back, thankfully, and because yeah,
It
no,
was
that
rough. It was a
was
rough time for sure.
yeah, yeah. I mean, that's something where looking kind of forward, I have multiple like games that are really more multiplayer oriented, that are campaign games, because like I say I haven't been doing a lot of gaming this year, but like we talked about Peak, which sort of has an ending, but really it's meant to be free played infinitely.
Yeah.
You know, I've also um at least the beginning of this year was playing a decent bit of Marvel Rivals. So it's not like I haven't been gaming at
Oh,
all.
Nick,
It's
you gotta
just
rejoin us for the Marvel Rivals resurgence.
yeah, I know, you know, it's coming back, but
Played like 3 times last week.
but in terms of the like kind of story campaign like multiplayer games I have, those are things that hopefully gonna play more of and finish. Um, I don't
Yeah,
actually have too many, but you know, it's the sort of thing where that's ultimately what I enjoy more is again the games that actually end.
I feel
um,
you.
yeah.
I've got my like games that I just like to play, like RuneScape, which it may have an ending, but you'll never get there. And other games like that just get updates, like you were saying. I do like those games. I enjoy being able to play the games again and revisit them and play one game for a while. But like you said, I like the games that are more story based, which is why I play the long JRPGs. And I like getting to the end of them. I'm saddened that I whiffed a little bit on my JRPG quota for the year. Next year is gonna have to be a big year. I'm gonna have to go crazy.
Yeah, yeah. No, I think just kind of looking at what is in my backlog, I think there's a number of games that are in here that I'm gonna at least start, but I'm not expecting to finish. And you know, maybe I'll surprise myself. And then there's you know, probably the other games that I have in here are things that I think I can reasonably complete next year. And then I can
Mm.
kind of say, like, my backlog is done, and I won't feel guilty when I buy new games, which I do anyways. I've still bought plenty of games this year that I haven't touched. But now then I think, like, looking into 2026, I can get to a point where I'm like, okay, now I'm actually, like, buying new stuff, and I don't have anything that I've been sitting on for years waiting to play.
Yeah, I got a I've got a sizable backlog that it's just gonna take me some time to catch up on.
I mean, the thing is, my backlog is I went through and organized my Steam library into it's split up a little more than this, but what it boils down to is really like backlog, the things I'm currently playing, the kind of like infinite games, and then there's a very large category that's just called never. And these are games
Never.
that either I have tried and I know I don't like, or games that I'm pretty sure I won't like, or games that don't necessarily have a reason to be played. So something is like, I also own Bioshock 1 and 2, which have the remastered versions, but you do also still get the original ones. So the original ones sit in never because
Oh,
at
yeah,
this
why would you play the
point
originals at this
I would
point?
just play I would just play the remastered ones.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so like that number gets maybe like ever so slightly inflated because I actually own a number of games like that, but um, yeah, it's largely I went for the effort of saying I have so much stuff and I know I can't ever touch all of this. I'm just gonna put these in a pile and forget about them. um,
That's fair.
so yeah.
I think I have it's like a Steam auto-generated category you can have, where any game where you've never installed it and no playtime in goes into like a backlog category. That's kind of like my never category. If it's in
Mm.
backlog, I have the tab minimized. I'm not looking at it unless I remember the game's in there and I'm specifically going to get it.
Yeah, no,
Like
that's really
if I buy a game and I did not install it immediately and give it a shot, like it's not a good sign for it.
yeah. No, for me it's certainly just a um we had I mean, we still have lots of great deals on like games on PC, but there were like a
Mhm.
few years there where we really had it good. And
Oh
that's where
yeah.
I was just like picking up bundles, picking up all of these things. And so I've ended up with a lot of things. And barring winning the lottery and being able to dedicate my life to gaming, I'm not going to be able to finish all of these or
I
even
thought you were gonna say
try all of
winning.
these.
I thought you were saying winning the lottery and buying all the games. I was like, you might buy all the games, but you don't have all the time.
Yeah, no. If I win the lottery, then I can like quit my job and only play games. Then
True.
maybe I could finish what I have.
Maybe not only play games. That sounds a little
Well,
unhealthy.
yeah, no.
But yeah, for me, the big thing is like there's like a ton of games I haven't played, and like it's because some of them are so long. There's just a ton. It's gonna be hard to just get through this. I can't like just dedicated like sit down for a week and clean up my backlog. So for me, the big thing is just start of the year or end of the previous year sometimes, depending on when I get to it. I sit down. I decide what games I want to try to play next year. I put them
Mhm.
in my little 2026 completion collection, and then I do my best. Last year, I had to move for the 2025. I had to move 3 games to 2026 because I didn't finish them. The two Trails games that I had in there, Cold Steel 3 and 4, I put in there last year. I thought I was going to get to them this year, and then the Trails in the Sky first chapter that came out this year,
Yeah.
which I've started, but I'm not going to finish by the end of the year.
Yeah. Yeah, that's actually I think I'm going to take
Oh,
some inspiration from you and try and do something more like
I've been really
that.
happy with how it works out because it gives you a good plan for what you're doing through the year. It gives you some motivation to finish them all off. And then every year in the new year, I get sick because I go too hard trying to finish my list.
Yeah, I mean, I think the past like 2 years you've been on New Year's
Furiously
Eve
gaming on New Year's
furiously
Eve.
trying to finish, and then the new year rolls around when you finished at like 8 a.m. the next day or whatever. You
Yeah, pretty
know?
much. It's not gonna be this year though, unless Act 3 of Silk Song takes me way longer than than I imagine.
Yeah, I mean,
But
I think
yeah.
at least for this year, I think the only thing I'm currently planning to finish would be Legends ZA had its DLC come out. I think that's basically the only thing I'm going to play. I don't know if I'm necessarily going to finish it just based on what I've heard. I did actually really enjoy Legends ZA, but I think the DLC is not living up to the base game. Um,
Pokemon Za.
Za. um, but I did, for anyone who does follow our website, write about my experience with Legends CA, and I really enjoyed that game. For me, it's very much solidified that like the Legends series is probably the only Pokemon games that are somewhat mainline that I'm going to be picking up. Um, because Scarlet and Violet, I think were an improvement from. Well, actually, I kind of
Can
skipped
you say
several
that? Can you say-
generations. See, the thing is,
Okay.
I didn't play 5th gen. I didn't play 6th gen. I didn't play 7th gen. I didn't play 8th gen.
Okay.
Actually, I guess
Okay.
I did play 6th gen. I played Omega Ruby,
Because,
so I played one of
okay,
the remakes. So
because Scarlet and Violet was just worse than Sword and Shield.
yeah,
The game worked less. The mechanics for like having fun in that game were worse. And yeah, mostly just the game worked less. It didn't work.
yeah. No, I do think there are plenty of problems with that game, and then,
I don't know.
yeah,
I'm so torn on the playing my Pokemon games because I did have fun with Scarlet Violet. Still, I had fun playing through the game and like doing stuff with friends in the game, and some of that fun was built upon group suffering, but still some of it was real fun.
yeah,
But the polish on those games is not there, and it's just ridiculous at this point. The fact that
yeah.
they went backwards from like Sword and Shield, which was fine. It was nothing exciting, but it was fine and fun, to like Scarlet and Violet, which was not fine but still fun. It's just I don't know. I have no hope for them.
Yeah, no, I think just the main gameplay that Pokemon games offer just isn't as appealing to me in the first place, because I'm less about, not that the games are necessarily all that difficult, but I'm not as invested in like coming up with fun builds or anything like that, so I can't really get invested in that. And it is truly all about the battling, whereas the Legends games have offered, I think Legends Arceus did it a little better, but having a bit more like exploration and things like that going on.
Yeah.
So, yeah, for me, I think barring some massive changes, also just in terms of quality, like really, you're this huge franchise, like make a better game, just in some of the
Right.
like
That's
technical
really the thing.
aspects. Um, yeah, I don't see myself touching mainline Pokemon games till that comes around. So, but yeah,
Oh, to go back briefly before we wrap up here, to go back briefly to the Game Awards topic. You guys remembered something? The I'm a little bit annoyed that the Trails in the Sky remake didn't get any nods in the Game Awards. That game's awesome. It came out so well, but there's no words of it. No one knows about this series. People need to play these games. They're
yeah,
awesome. I swear. I
I guess
swear.
if it was gonna be anywhere, it would be in like the best RPG category, which it is not there. I didn't even realize that at least 2 of these games came out. The 2 Xbox Studio titles. Actually, they're both Obsidian titles as well.
Which games?
Avowed and The Outer Worlds 2.
Oh, I didn't know. The Outer Worlds. I haven't heard good things about the Outer Worlds too.
Yeah, I didn't realize these games had actually released. I knew they were like in
I did.
development,
I must have
but
completely missed the the best RPG category somewhere as just
well,
for
yeah,
these
I think
specific.
that was another category where they were just like quickly naming like free awards before getting back into trailers. Expedition 33, of course, won it.
Oh, shocker,
Um,
shocker.
so, but yeah, I mean, I guess the other thing, maybe just briefly, they have the most anticipated game award, which went, of course, to Grand Theft Auto 6. Like,
Oh, dude, I
yeah,
actually didn't even remember that category. Did they do that first? That was like one of the first categories they did,
they
right?
did it in like the middle of the show. It was like
I
maybe
thought I
not.
thought it was in the pre-show.
No, it wasn't in the pre-show. It wasn't quite that
Okay.
early, but it was certainly within the first half of the main
Normally, that's
show.
the last thing, like one of the last things
Yeah,
they do.
I would do like most anticipated game, finish off with game of the year if I were gonna structure the show. It's like, and here's what's coming soon, and here's what won this year, and that's the
Grand
end of
Theft
the
Auto
show.
6 should just never come out so it can keep cleaning up most anticipation game award.
It'll be like the sequel to The Legend of
Legend
Zelda:
of
The Breath
Zelda
of the
Breath of the
Wild. It just keeps
Wild.
winning because they just keep delaying.
Yeah,
Um, yeah,
that's
I
how you win an
mean,
award.
other games in here are 007 First Light, Marvel's Wolverine, Resident Evil 9 or
Yeah,
Requiem.
maybe I just haven't been listening to the buzz or anything. I haven't heard of these games. Or other
The
RE9 I've heard of course. But
RE9, yeah, I mean that was announced just this year at Summer Game Fest. So, The Witcher 4 is the last one in this category, also just
uh,
announced this year.
I missed
Um, yeah,
that.
I think
Yeah,
other than
maybe
GTA
I'm getting a
6,
bit
they
out of touch.
yeah, I mean that's where I mean, I kind of said it this year where I was like, I don't feel like there's a lot coming out this year that I'm interested in. It's a great year for me to catch up on my backlog. And I think now entering 2026, I'm in the same position of like, there's not a lot to coming out next year. It's a great time to finish my backlog.
What is coming
Um,
out next year?
that's actually a great question. I'm going to pull up my
Trying to
wish
trying to
list real
trying to
quick
think
and
of I'm
see.
trying to think of games that I'm like looking forward to next year that are
Hmm.
not like fighting games.
I think I have the new Lego Batman game.
Mhm.
I'm excited for that after what they did with the Skywalker saga. That was a fun game, changing things up from like the typical perception of a Lego
Oh, I know what's
game.
coming out. There's that FromSoft game on the Switch too.
Oh yeah,
That'll
Dusk
be good. That'll be
Bloods, I
big. I
think it
hope that's
is.
good. Yeah,
Yeah.
I have high hopes for that.
I guess we have Orbitals to look forward
Yeah, well,
to.
that one will come out and we'll play it. I don't have to
Yeah.
anticipate that one. That's just a game that will come out and I'll play.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's kind of Dustbloods and then like Marvel Tokon. That's it. That's all I can think of right now.
Yeah, I mean, looking through, I have been doing like a little cleanup of my wish list, and I think the only thing where that's on here that's like in some way confirmed for 2026 at least that I'm interested in is Lego Batman. And even then, it's still I'm interested, but I'm probably not picking it up at launch.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not that excited for it, and especially after seeing how quickly Skywalker Saga went on sale. Um, it's the sort of thing I'll probably still get it next year, but it might be a like late in the year when it's 50% off kind of deal.
There's different tiers of interest. There's I've got to get this game as soon as it comes out, and it's like, oh, I'm looking forward to playing this game when it like comes out, and then I also remember about it like a
Yeah.
little bit after it comes out. So that'll be a thing. Oh,
Yeah, I
I'll tell you what.
mean
This is like my actual most anticipated thing coming up. I'm anticipating the next Nintendo Direct when they actually tell us what games exist on the Switch 2.
that will be interesting to see because there has certainly not been a lot
It's
in
not
terms of
not a great launch year for the Switch 2 in terms of game titles. They had like two big games. That's it.
yeah. I mean, and especially if we just look at exclusives, then we're
Mhm.
talking about like free games. We're talking Mario Kart World, Donkey Kong Bonanza, and Kirby Air Riders, and two of those
Oh, yeah.
are more or less racers.
Yeah.
Uh, so yeah, maybe not a
Yeah.
strong
Let's
showing
see
here.
some games, Nintendo. I've got the damn thing. I got the stupid Switch 2. Let me play stuff on it.
Yeah.
That's all I want. I don't care that I had to pay for it. Just give me the games.
Yeah, I mean, I think, they did already put out the statement of like, we're switching our development focus to the Nintendo Switch 2, which is kind of like yeah, of course you are, because it's your new console. And we're now
Yeah.
entering a new year where it's not the launch year. We're still within, I guess, a year from it, but uh, calendar year
Yeah.
wise, we're switching over. It's time. Show us more games.
Yeah. I don't know.
Um,
I do want to see more games, but I also like I don't think the strategy of giving people more time to like get the consoles before they start rolling out like Switch 2 only game. I don't think that's the worst strategy. I don't think it's terrible.
mm. No,
It kind of
I
makes sense, especially from Nintendo's perspective.
Yeah, I mean, I think we saw with the launch of the new Xbox and PlayStation consoles now 5 years ago already. Uh,
Whew.
they they had like I mean they still have a lot of cross-gen releases, but even like the first Xbox just straight up said for their first party stuff, the first 2 years is going to be cross-gen. There's not any exclusives planned. They ended up backpedaling on that a little bit, but at least the
It's a
initial
weird. It is a
plan.
weird thing to do. There probably should be some. Otherwise, no one's going to buy your console, which is
Well,
what
I mean,
happened.
the whole thing, I could talk about Xbox's strategy for a while, and everyone already
their,
has, but
their
really,
bad
like,
strategy.
their strategy, and it seems to be where they finally landed. But I said before they even announced the new console, Xbox's strategy, their next gen console isn't actually a console. Their idea is just to get more people on Game Pass. That is their whole new strategy. And that's really where they've landed with their whole this is an Xbox campaign with the kind of finally merging PC and Xbox. We're slowly moving towards that.
After it's been too late for a decade.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be interested because both Valve and Xbox are making the exact same move right now, where Valve is just like making it easier to use a PC as a console, and Xbox is combining, Windows with also, again, just a console like interface. And then they still need to bring games over in some emulated fashion. Because that's a big complaint right now of the ROG Xbox Ally, besides the name being stupid with this whole cross branding, is it has Xbox in the name, and yet you can't play 90% of your Xbox library. If you've been playing since like Xbox One, Xbox 360, that whole digital catalog that you have picked up in that time isn't available to you.
That's
More
awesome.
of the Xbox like One stuff, many of those are Play Anywhere titles, or maybe not most. I don't know how many.
Play some of
But
their titles.
yeah, it's a little better. But when we're talking about the older stuff, all of
Those are
that
Play
stuff is
Nowhere
unavailable.
titles.
Yeah.
Sorry, don't play. You can't play those anymore.
So
Our
yeah.
fault.
So yeah, no,
Which
that
I guess to maybe to close out the podcast, what without explaining it, which strategy between like Nintendo, Microsoft, and Sony, which is your least favorite strategy?
I mean, I
Wait, what's Sony's strategy again? Actually.
Sony's strategy is they are doing a decent number of PC releases. It seemed like briefly they were
Oh
going to
yes, I
be
almost forgot about Sony's strategy of
yeah.
put the games on PC like a year afterwards and hope that convinces people to buy a PlayStation.
Well, I think the original idea when the CEO switched is they were gonna like slow that down, and it seems like they haven't done that. So it does seem like their goal is actually just we're gonna put it out as basically timed exclusive on PlayStation 5, but we don't actually really care about bringing PC players over to buy our hardware.
Just not happening.
Yeah, it's just the way they're being less popular is requiring like the PlayStation Network accounts for anything with like a multiplayer aspect. That caused a whole bunch of drama earlier this year with Helldivers 2, and then it had to be delisted from a bunch of regions when that was added and was no longer available. That was a whole big thing. But it seems like in terms of like where can you play their games, they're totally fine just putting it on PC, a year later, and they're not trying to convince people to come over to PlayStation. If you really want to play it, great. Buy a PlayStation if you want to play it sooner. Otherwise, it'll come eventually.
Okay, so now that we have the PlayStation strategy, and we've spoken of it, which one's your least favorite?
I mean, to me, it's probably because I am such a PC gamer. It's Nintendo's strategy and refusal to get anywhere near PC, even with their old titles. If they were just like, okay, we're gonna open up like Wii and earlier, we're just gonna put that on PC. You can just like, even if it was like a separate launcher or something, I needed a separate account from Steam, I would be so much more open to that. It's really just that whole lock-in and not doing anything with anything else.
Gotcha. The stubborn-minded Nintendo,
Yeah, and it's like there's nothing, especially with the advent of PC handhelds, becoming big with the Steam Deck. There's nothing that necessarily makes the Switch as unique now, in the way it was when it first came out, of being like both a handheld and home console.
True.
Because like that's how you use your Steam Deck. You're already kind of doing that. Plenty of people do that.
Exactly. But to be fair, the Switch did come out like 6 or 7 years before the Steam Deck. But
no, yeah. They certainly promoted the strategy first, and all I wanted from the Switch 2 was a Switch but better. And at the same
Oh,
time,
so
I'm just
better
like,
to you meant like better as in it acts more like a computer.
well, no. So the Switch 2 just needed really to be more powerful. That's all I
Yeah.
really wanted. But ideally, in my world, if Nintendo is not necessarily doing anything as unique with their console, um, bring more games over to PC. I'm just, uh, and again, I'm totally fine if that just means they're older titles. Just like anything, like Wii is forever ago at this point. You know, that is 13 years ago is when we last really had Wii releases,
Yeah.
being a thing.
Tragically for you, I don't really see that
Oh
happening.
no,
They
I
seem
don't
very
see it
against that.
happening.
That's a kind
But
of unrealistic expectation just based
yeah,
on Nintendo's
but
past.
in terms of my least favorite, it's just
Yeah, no, that's
the
fair. That's fair.
yeah.
I get you there. My least favorite is Microsoft because I hate the stupid games as a service bullshit.
Mm.
I don't want to have to pay for my temporary access to all of these games that I'm never gonna have time to play.
See, the thing is, because while that's what they want you to do, you also can just buy the games, and that's something you
Yeah,
can't
that's true,
do.
but then we're talking about their strategy, not what your options are. You can just
Yeah,
emulate the games on PC. That's not what Nintendo wants you to
yeah. Well, so if we then, but
do.
if we look at Nintendo then and their like subscription on like how do you access their classic games, it's either like stupidly overpriced releases like Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 being
Those are
$70,
not good. Those are not good.
or it's included as part of your otherwise pretty useless Switch Online subscription. I mean, because one of the benefits, and it's really shouldn't be a paid thing, is cloud saves, which most of their games don't even use.
Yeah,
Like,
cloud saves. What do you need cloud saves for?
I think it's less of a deal with like Nintendo because like what else would you? Who has
Yeah,
multiple
what other
Switches?
yeah, what other system are you playing
On the
on?
other hand, it is a backup though. If something happens
Yeah,
to your Switch, that's really the benefit then of,
that's
if
fine.
it gets stolen or lost
That makes
because
sense.
it's, portable. But most of their games don't use it. No one really uses cloud save, so why am I paying for that?
Yeah. I mean,
And
like you said, you're paying for the retro library. It's there for the
yeah,
people who want
but
it.
then
I personally
I'm paying
have
every
not paying for
year.
the extra retro library.
Yeah,
I'm paying for the online services.
that is true. I mean, ultimately, that's what I'm mainly paying for. But
Yeah. Do you pay?
uh,
Do you have like the extra like
I do because I'm on
Ultra Nintendo online?
a family plan, so it's
Oh
still
right, right,
cheaper than individual.
yeah.
Um, and yeah, so I do have it. It's really funny though because I've actually, for most of the time when I do play older Nintendo games, I still emulate them rather than playing them on the Switch's virtual library. Um,
A lot of the older Nintendo games that I've played recently, I've actually tried to get the actual physical copy of it. I like playing
mm,
the physical copy retro games on like original hardware.
yeah, see,
Fun.
I think that's,
Especially for the ones I'm like actually interested in going back to, not the games that I'm just like there's some I'll emulate, but like
yeah.
for the ones I like care about going back to, I like going back to the real stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of two different philosophies of playing retro games is are you just trying to play the game or are you interested in experiencing as it was like originally intended, I guess.
Yeah. I do think it
That's
is like
yeah.
a lot more of an experience playing it like or a lot different of an experience playing it on the like original hardware with
Mm.
like a physical copy of the game than emulating it. It's yeah, like you said, it's between I just wanted to play this game versus I wanted to have like a cool retro experience playing this game.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
And
how I see it as.
for me, I'm much more interested when I'm playing an older game of just accessing the game and playing it. There's if there was something, I guess, very unique to the original way of playing it on that console that might benefit in some way, maybe. Um, like, how do you necessarily? Well, actually, no, you can connect Wii controllers to a computer, so you can emulate and actually use a Wii mote still, at least, like use the original controller, even if you're not on fully original hardware. But, um, that's kind of different. Yeah. All right.
All right.
Well, I think we've basically covered everything here.
Yeah, we covered a lot. The Game Awards, what we're doing, some other random topics. It was a good time. Good talk, Nick. Yay.
Yeah,
Fuck
yeah.
Jeff, by the way.
Fuck Jeff.
Just bring
Yeah,
it back all
so
around, bring it back home.
bring it back home. This is our last episode for the year, and also I guess our season finale. We'll be back in 2026, season 2. Maybe we'll even bring Michael back, and yeah,
Got some hot topics for season 2. Yeah, that's what it was.
yeah. I think we're just gonna say calendar year's done. That's a season. That's a wrap.
Ooh.
All right. Well, thank you for listening to another episode of the Hot Takes podcast. You can find our website, hottakesreviews.com. Also find us over on Blue Sky if you want to chat about what we've been talking here on the podcast. And yeah, we'll catch you in the new year then.
See you next year.